Get ready, days of our life about to explode with a storm of secrets, steamy encounters, and tangled relationships this April. And perhaps a bit scandalized by what's to come. Let's dive deep into the drama, starting with an unconscious confession that changes everything. Following a tragic medical emergency, E.J. DiMera lies in a hospital bed, trapped in a doctor-induced coma. While Salem waits for a sign of recovery, one woman can't hold back her feelings any longer. Belle Black finds herself drawn to EJ's bedside, overwhelmed by the emotions she's kept buried deep inside. She sits quietly, heart-aching, and finally whispers the truth: she's fallen in love with him. With EJ unresponsive, Belle finds herself speaking more freely than ever. Her words, tender and raw, are meant only for the man she's grown to love, but she doesn't realize she has an unexpected audience. Just outside the door, Sammy Brady has returned to Salem and happens to overhear Belle's emotional confession. Sammy is stunned. Of all the people to fall for EJ, her longtime rival Belle is the last she expected. A storm of emotions swirls inside her: jealousy, disbelief, and perhaps even a hint of betrayal. Belle and EJ? It doesn't sit right. Sammy's mind races as she contemplates the impact of this revelation, not just on her, but on the entire Brady and DiMera families. Her reaction will be explosive, and she won't keep quiet for long. Sparks fly again between Sammy and Rafe as Sammy reels from Belle's confession. She finds herself seeking comfort, and it arrives in the form of an old flame. Rafe Hernandez has been enduring his own share of heartbreak thanks to the collapse of his relationship with Jada Hunter and the ongoing fallout from the chaos surrounding Sean Brady. When Sammy offers him a shoulder to lean on, it doesn't take long before old feelings resurface. A tender kiss turns into something much more passionate. Before either of them can process the consequences, they've tumbled back into bed, reigniting a connection that once burned hot and still simmers beneath the surface. This isn't just a one-time mistake. It's the beginning of a chain reaction. Unfortunately for them, they're not alone. Javi Hernandez walks in at the worst possible moment, stunned to find his father in bed with Sammy. The look of disbelief on his face says it all, and his discovery won't stay secret for long. Jada's heartbreak and a new connection, word of Rafe's betrayal, spreads quickly. When Jada hears the news, it cuts deeply. Her relationship with Rafe may have been unraveling, but seeing it all end in such a humiliating way is painful. And yet, instead of wallowing, Jada begins to reevaluate her own heart. She turns to an unexpected confidant, Sean Brady. Sean, still reeling from his own heartbreak after Belle drifted away emotionally and physically, finds solace in Jada's company. Two wounded hearts seeking comfort in each other. It's a familiar story in Salem, and one that rarely ends without complications. What starts as mutual understanding blossoms into something more. Shared pain becomes shared passion, and the lines of friendship begin to blur. As Jada and Sean explore their growing bond, a new romantic twist emerges, one that could threaten to shift loyalties and create even more emotional fallout. The great romantic shakeup: Salem is about to witness a grand reshuffling of love and loyalty. One revelation after another cascades through town, creating a ripple effect that touches nearly every major character. Belle, once devoted to Sean, now feels her heart belongs to EJ despite him being unconscious and unavailable. The truth she spoke while EJ slept may come back to haunt her when he wakes up and hears about it from someone else entirely. EJ, upon recovering, will be forced to choose. Will he continue a complex and fragile bond with Sammy, or follow the unexpected path that leads to Belle's arms? Rafe has clearly chosen Sammy, but will she stay loyal to him if EJ re-enters the picture? Old wounds and new desires may collide in dangerous ways. Jada, who never expected her world to be turned upside down, finds herself genuinely falling for Sean. But how will she cope if Belle returns to reclaim him? This is the type of complicated, multi-layered storytelling that keeps longtime Days of Our Lives fans glued to the screen. It's a masterful blend of old flames rekindled, betrayals exposed, and unexpected romances rising from the ashes. What lies ahead? The coming weeks in Salem promise to deliver emotional highs and devastating lows. Viewers can expect confrontations, shocking reveals, and passionate makeups and breakups. Long-held grudges may resurface, and old rivalries are sure to intensify. The romance may be messy, but the drama is delicious. Will Belle and EJ become the new power couple? Can Sammy and Rafe build something real out of old sparks? And what will become of Jada and Sean's fragile new bond? In a town like Salem, nothing stays buried for long. Not secrets, not feelings, and definitely not love. So, pour a cup of tea, get comfortable in your favorite chair, and get ready for a month of love, lies, and stunning surprises on Days of Our Lives. The drama is just getting started. Next week, batten down the hatches, because Hurricane Sammy is about to blow into Salem. If there's one thing Days of Our Lives fans know, it's that things tend to get interesting when Allison Sweeney carves time out of her incredibly busy schedule to visit her friends and family. That certainly will be the case when on Thursday, April 10th, she arrives just in time to hear her sister declaring her love to the recently shot man who was once the love of her life. Dangerous encounters and secrets about to explode. While that's familiar territory for a daytime drama and something viewers have been anticipating for ages, the true heart of this latest return delves into a storyline both complex and deeply emotional. Our heroine finds herself facing a conversation that has been buried for nearly 20 years, the story of how her beloved son came into the world. A conversation 20 years in the making. It may come as a shock to long-time viewers that this chapter of her life is being revisited. The events in question, an incident nearly 2 decades ago in which her former partner demanded intimacy in exchange for sparing his rival, caused a storm of controversy when they first aired. Yet here we are again, on the brink of a dialogue between mother and son that promises to be as raw and real as it is dramatic. Recalling the past with new eyes, the actress who brought this character to life admits she was caught off guard by the decision to reopen such a charged storyline. Despite the passage of time, she discovered that stepping back into those old scenes felt surprisingly natural. "I remember it all," she confided, reflecting on the intensity of the original material and the uproar it caused among fans. She spoke candidly about the challenge of revisiting a moment that remains so controversial, both within the story's universe and among its passionate audience. Tackling sensitive material with care, knowing how deeply invested viewers remain, she approached the material with a sense of responsibility. Working closely with the writers, she aimed to handle the conversation with honesty and sensitivity. The result is a scene that strips away artifice, revealing a mother's love, a young man's search for identity, and the complicated truths that bind them together. A temporary homecoming with lasting impact. Though this is clearly a guest appearance rather than a permanent comeback, the ripples of her return will be felt throughout the community. In addition to this emotional mother-son exchange, she'll be present for the memorial of a beloved patriarch and will grace the screen once more when the show celebrates its 60th anniversary this November. What lies ahead as our character returns to the place she once called home? Viewers can expect a whirlwind of emotion, romance, and revelation. Old wounds will be reopened, new alliances will form, and the bonds of family will be tested like never before. With her arrival set to coincide with a declaration of love, a confrontation with the past, and a celebration of legacy, next week promises to be a landmark in Salem's storied history. Stay tuned, dear readers, for a tale of heartache and hope, where the winds of change blow strongest, and the bravest souls learn that sometimes the fiercest storms bring the greatest clarity.